Today, I'll focus on how to choose research methods that strengthen every part of a business plan. The right approach helps transform assumptions into evidence, clarify what customers actually need, and support decisions with credible information. We'll consider how different research approaches contribute to a more complete understanding of the market, the opportunity, and the business environment. The central idea is simple. Strong business plans are built on strong research. By selecting methods thoughtfully, we can create a plan that is both data-driven and practical. A business plan is only as strong as the evidence behind it. That's why choosing the right research methods matters. Good research helps validate whether real market demand exists rather than relying on assumptions or enthusiasm alone. It also reduces risk by uncovering blind spots before launch, when changes are still easier to make. Most importantly, research builds credibility. Investors, lenders, and partners want to see that your claims are supported by verifiable data. Strong evidence makes your plan more persuasive and gives others greater confidence in the opportunity. Business research is built on two complementary approaches: primary and secondary research. Primary research gives me original data collected directly for the specific question I'm trying to answer, whether through customers, interviews, surveys, or other first-hand methods. Secondary research uses information that already exists, helping me understand the broader market and establish context. The strongest business plans combine both. Secondary research defines a landscape, while primary research addresses the important gaps and provides focused evidence for decisions. Primary research means going directly to the people and environments that can inform your decisions: potential customers, competitors, and industry experts. Surveys and questionnaires provide scalable, quantifiable feedback, making them useful for validating demand across a large sample. Interviews go deeper, uncover motivations, pain points, and unmet needs. Focus groups show how people respond to a concept or message in a social setting. Finally, observation captures what customers actually do in real environments, which is especially valuable for retail, hospitality, and service businesses. Secondary research helps me build context before investing time and resources in primary research. It is generally faster and less expensive, while still showing how a business fits within the broader market. The key is evaluating both relevance and source credibility. Government sources, such as census data, SBA reports, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics, provide authoritative industry-wide information. Industry reports from IBIS World Statista and Mintel add market sizing and forecasts. Trade publications contribute timely insight into competitors, regulations, and emerging developments. Together, these sources create a strong foundation for planning. Quantitative and qualitative research offer two lenses on the same reality. Quantitative research tells me how many and how much, producing numbers I can chart, compare, and use to forecast. It helps assess market size, pricing sensitivity, and purchase frequency. Qualitative research explains why and how, revealing the stories, emotions, and motivations behind behavior. Those insights guide positioning, messaging, and product design. The strongest business plans use both: numbers to prove the opportunity and narratives to make that opportunity human. Not all research methods are equally useful for every business question. The goal is to connect each unknown with the approach most likely to produce a reliable answer. Start by defining the question, then select the method, and finally collect and validate what you learn. A practical way to begin is to list your top 5 assumptions about the business. For each one, ask, what method gives me the most reliable answer at the lowest cost? This keeps research focused, prevents paralysis, and helps move the plan forward. Effective customer interviews can reveal insights that surveys often miss, but only when they're conducted thoughtfully. The goal is to understand the customer's world, not to validate our idea. First, recruit people who genuinely match the target customer, rather than friends or others inclined to agree. Next, ask open-ended questions, such as, tell me about the last time you. Avoid leading people to a preferred answer. Finally, listen more than you talk. Give them space to think, and remember that silence can uncover details a quick follow-up might miss. A strong business plan depends on strong evidence because investors quickly notice unreliable, outdated, or biased sources. I use 4 questions to evaluate every data point. First, who published it? Government agencies, academic institutions, and established research firms are generally preferable. Second, when was it published? In fast-moving markets, data should ideally be no more than 3 years old. Third, what is the sample size? Larger, more diverse samples support more reliable conclusions. Finally, is there a conflict of interest? I cross-reference industry-sponsored research with independent sources before relying on it. Strong research is not just about collecting information. It's about avoiding the traps that distort our conclusions. First, watch for confirmation bias by actively seeking evidence that challenges your assumptions. Second, don't mistake a tiny convenience sample, like 10 friends, for meaningful market research. Third, triangulate findings across multiple independent sources instead of relying on one perspective. And finally, study the competitive landscape. Understanding existing alternatives is essential because investors will want to know why customers would choose your solution over the competition. Your research action plan turns assumptions into evidence. This week, identify your 5 biggest assumptions and match each with research method. This month, complete at least 10 customer interviews and gather 3 credible sources for each market claim. Your final output is an evidence-backed research appendix.